in franchise history. Ryan O'Reilly, who scored the first goal of Game 7, came away as the Conn Smythe Trophy winner for Most Valuable Player as head coach Craig Berube becomes the first midseason replacement to win the Cup since 2016.
Fox's Matt Napolitano. This is Fox News.
W277CK Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Good morning. Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for mostly sunny today, high near 72. Tonight, clear with a low around 51. Tomorrow, sunshine once again with a high near 77. On Saturday, a slight chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny in the afternoon, heating up with a high near 85. Showers and thunderstorms likely for Father's Day all the way through Tuesday, with temps steady in the mid-80s. Again, your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for mostly sunny today with a high of 72.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Community Medical. Time to take a look at community news here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
Get the kids in the kitchen this summer and kick it off with Baking Boot Camp at Caldwell County Extension Office Monday and Tuesday, June 17th and 18th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Children 6th through 8th grade will learn and practice basic baking skills as they can take home and use to bake for the whole family. Reservations are available and space is limited, so call today 270-365-2787. Fredonia First Baptist Church Free Meal for All Community Fellowship will be held Thursday, June 20th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the ballpark in Fredonia. Everyone is welcome and the meal is free. The First Baptist Church Clothing Room will be open the fourth Tuesday of every month from 8:30 until 10:30 with the next opening June 25th. There will be a large selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Please use the Cave Street entrance door. First Baptist Church is located at 300 West Main Street in Princeton. Get ready for Barn Bash featuring Quiva, Blaine Howard, and special guest Cassidy Knight. Friday, June 28th at 7 p.m. at the Western Kentucky State Fair in the Convention Center. Doors open at 6:30 with showtime at 7:30. The concert is free with your paid gate admission and includes door prizes and surprises throughout the night. Donations received during the concert will benefit Pennaroyal Hospice, living to the fullest. Big Hearts Farms VBS is coming to Unity Baptist Church in Fredonia on June 26th through June 28th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Transportation is available. For more information, call 270-350-6957. Grab your buddies. The Princeton Rotary Club and Princeton Caldwell County Chamber of Commerce tees off its 4-person golf scramble on Friday, July 12th. Registration is at 11 a.m. with tee time at 11:30. Prizes for first and second place teams and prizes per hole. Entry includes a sack lunch, skirt, and mulligan per player. Registration is open now with the deadline on July 1st. Get ready for a Farm City breakfast at First Baptist Church Christian Life Center in Princeton on Saturday, July 3rd with meet and greet starting at 7:30 and breakfast at 8 a.m. featuring keynote speaker Nick Carter. Tickets must be purchased in advance by July 3rd at the Caldwell County Cooperative Extension Office. All proceeds benefit the Caldwell County Feeding God's Children Backpack Program.
Get spruced up with quality mulch from Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road in Princeton. We all know that buying mulch by the truckload saves money, and it's only $25 per load for dark natural mulch at Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road, 1/2 mile past City County Park. Bashir Sawmill also buys standing timber and timberland. Give them a call today, 270-365-2330. That's Bashir Sawmill, family owned and operated in Princeton for over 50 years.
It's finally spring. This is Stephanie Hampton, manager at Purcell Tire Princeton. It's time to bring your car to Purcell Tire and get ready for all the fun things you and your family will do this season. Our spring car care package includes an oil and filter change, a fluid top-off, a tire rotation and tire check, a brake inspection, and a complete vehicle safety inspection. Come see me today at Purcell Tire Princeton, 309 U.S. Highway 62 West, or call us at 270-365-7291 and find out more at purcelltire.com.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cook-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. The Sideline Report is on the air. Can report that the sun is shining in St. Louis this morning, and it's reflecting off the Stanley Cup trophy. St. Louis Blues are champions, and I'm not going to spend the whole show talking about the Blues, although I probably could this morning. I'm still pretty pumped up about last night, but want to welcome our guest this morning. Chuck Mitchell, the new girls basketball coach at Caldwell County High School, is in with us this morning. Good morning.
Thank you.
And Daniel Cortner, no stranger to the show. He's in here with us. Daniel, thanks for coming by today.
Good morning. Congrats on the Blues.
Thank you. It's a big day. Never thought I would see this day. You know, as a long-time St. Louis Blues fan, I've been following them for 40 years. One year they got to Game 7 of the Western Conference Final and lost that in overtime, and I thought, well, that's as close as I'm ever going to get to seeing the Blues in the finals.
Right.
And not only get to the finals this year, but actually go ahead and win the thing. So pretty exciting if you're a hockey fan.
26 more and you'll be with my Yankees.
Yeah, I knew you'd mention that. Not going to mention my Cardinals today. You know, I think the Cardinals took the night off last night to celebrate the Blues.
There you go.
Championship. So I think they lost 9-0 in Miami. But we won't talk a whole lot about that. But want to talk to basketball coach a little bit first. And Coach, first of all, welcome to Caldwell County. And how are you finding things here?
Oh yeah, well, thank you. Everything's going well. The administration, all the coaches at the school really treat me well. Me and my family are really happy.
Well, and it looks like you've inherited a team that has a chance to be pretty good this season.
Yeah, Coach Thomas didn't leave any slouches for sure. There's a lot of talent, and you know we're just learning to play a little bit differently, and you know, and we got to look at our middle school and their youth, but for right now the stable is full. Yeah.
What are some of the things you're trying to work on this summer?
Well, basically, I want them to learn about me, what kind of style I want to play, and what they're going to need to do to be able to play that way. And I think so far we've played 7 games, and they're understanding they're going to have to be in shape, and you know, because we're going to get up and down and those types of things, and play really full court defense. So they're understanding a little bit of that now.
Is defense kind of the main thing you're working on right now?
Well, that I'm a defensive guy. You know, that's your best offense for sure. And with this team, we can score off our defense. You know, but we've spent a lot of time offensively trying to just get the girls to shoot open shots, and if they're open, and getting Jada Boyd to get to the rim and get to the free throw line. So we've battled a little bit with that, but they're overcoming that, and they're taking their open looks.
Well, I think one thing that happened with the team last season, they kind of lost their mojo as far as shooting the basketball, and tough to score when you won't shoot. I mean,
right? Yeah, we you know, they know if they don't shoot an open shot, they're coming out. You know, they'll never come out for taking a good shot and missing it. We just want them. It can't go in. Michael Jordan always said it can't go in unless you shoot it.
Right.
For sure.
You guys picked up 3 wins down at Crittenden County the other day, and you said had a good day at Paducah Tillman yesterday too.
Right. Yeah. We've you know, we've not been together long, so you know they're still learning. We had a good day at Crittenden County with Lyon and Crittenden and Union County. We got 3 wins there, and they played a lot of kids. We've got 18 kids out. 18 kids
good.
Coming to summer basketball, and I've been doing this a long time. And you know, it's that's very impressive. And you know, everybody wants to play, and everybody wants to impress, and you know. So we was very successful there, and went to Paducah Tillman yesterday, and our JV played really well, won 2 games, and our varsity won 2 games. So we're starting to get it.
How much can you tell over the course of a summer what your team is getting and what you still need to work on?
Well, you know, basketball's, you know, it's evolving. It's changing from when I first started. You know, it's not, you can have your half-court sets, and I've got a ton of those. You just got to have the kids to run them. But, you know, you want to get up and down the court and score buckets and get shots up and defend and try to play a bunch of kids. So I think our kids this summer are really picking up on the defensive end of what we want to do to score baskets. And of course, we've got the half-court offenses and all that good stuff. But I can tell you, this team really picks up on things quickly. Stuff I can put in, I don't have to reteach, and that's a testament to Coach Thomas and what she's done, the middle school coaches, what they've done with these kids. So not had to reteach a lot of things.
Well, and you kind of took over a team that was pretty well experienced.
Yes, I've got 3 seniors, and led by Jada Boyd, and she's just an extremely good point guard. She's really she had a tough time. We want her to get to the rim. We do a lot of stuff for her to get to the basket and get it dumped down to Bella or kick out to Lucy and our 3 seniors, and she's getting it. She at the beginning she didn't, she kind of timid. All of them were. But now, the pace, they love it. They really like it. And the big thing is they're having a lot of fun.
That's good. Jada's tough to guard. I mean, I think she needs to realize that for the other team, she's a difficult matchup.
Yeah, and we told her that. Like yesterday, PT at Tillman, they're very quick, and they were all over her. I mean, they were holding her. In a game during the season, those will be fouls. And I told her, I said, get through this. This is what's going to happen. Teams are going to be on you and double team you. Get used to this. And she rose to the occasion for sure. She really makes us kind of tick.
We're talking this morning with Caldwell County girls basketball coach Chuck Mitchell. Also in the studio is Caldwell County volleyball coach Daniel Cortner. And Daniel, what kind of summer plans have you guys had with the volleyball team?
I'm a little different with summer. Most of ours will travel and go places, but that's also coming off of a very busy spring. We get them in the gym late December for club and January, finish about the first part of April. So our summer's pretty much just been a couple of open gyms every night. We are going to luck up and get to go down to Webster County and play 5 matches this weekend with a couple of them that are available, and then kind of coast into dead period and really enjoy. Mine's all got jobs and things along those lines, so we do our work in the spring and kind of a less summer.
Well, and summer seems like it's a little different than even back when you were playing sports. There's a little more time commitment maybe now. There is, and the last time I tried to play 3 sports, it was weightlifting for football in the morning, basketball at noon, and baseball that night, and that kind of keeps them busy. So now they all want to go get jobs and things along those lines. So it does keep them pretty busy. We're talking again with Chuck Mitchell and Daniel Cortner this morning. We need to get to a timeout here on the Sideline Report, but we'll be back with more after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
It seems like everyone is going on vacation except you. There's nothing you'd love more than to escape with your family for a few days.
Don't let money worry stop you. Visit ABC Finance.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morse at the Hopkinsville location.
We can help you take that family vacation you've been dreaming about.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like us on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's, and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Time to give Dad what he really deserves. It's the Dad's Day Dad's Way giveaway. Enter today at WPKYonline.com to win prizes from Hopkinsville Outdoor Equipment, Herb Hayes Furniture, Lake Barkley State Resort Park, Windows on the Water Restaurant, and Boots Randolph Golf Course. Enter today before it's too late. Contest ends June 21st.
Good morning once again. We are back on the Sideline Report. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Joining us in the studios here at WPKY today is Caldwell County girls basketball head coach Chuck Mitchell and Caldwell County volleyball coach Daniel Cortner. And Daniel, you guys have had quite the run on the volleyball court, several years now, a lot of success. Caldwell County losing a very successful coaching tandem in Kim Farmer and Raymond Janina. They have stepped down from the tennis coaching position, and what an incredible run they've had.
Has been. The other night after open gym, they had their banquet, and Coach Farmer was out in the hallway there putting trophies in, and we had a long talk while she put all of those trophies back into the case. It's been a successful career. They've taken a lot of kids, through state, even back in the years when they had to battle in the first region with Lone Oak and all of those schools. Once they got in here, they've gone to the finals every year. That's a pretty good program.
I was going to say all those championship trophies are either regional team championships or runner-up trophies. There's not anything else in there. There's just regional champs and runners-up, and that's Farmer coached for 26 years, and I'm not really sure how long Raymond was with her, but they were kind of a package deal, it always seemed, and I can remember going to take pictures of the tennis team, early when I started at the newspaper, which was 24, 25 years ago, and sometimes they'd have 6, maybe 7 kids total on the whole team, and they built that thing up to where at one point there were 25 kids or more in the program.
Right.
So, I think that's where you're trying to get your program when you're, whatever it's basketball or volleyball or tennis or whatever, you want to get kids involved.
Right.
That's kind of what you're looking at in volleyball. The more kids you can get involved, the better you're going to be.
And she's always had quality kids. Been a very well-run program for years.
And whoever gets that job inherits a girls team that is probably going to be the favorite in the region next year, because everybody's back and they got the big trophy this year.
Right.
So
and a good doubles boys team too.
So congratulations to them on just outstanding career. And sometimes we take it for granted. I've always said that for the size school Caldwell County is, and it's not really a small school, but it's certainly not a big school, we've had quite a bit of success here in sports. And sometimes you forget that, the tennis team's out there winning a bunch. The last state champion we had was a wrestler. One of the best athletes we've ever had was a golfer in Emma Talley, who's still out there making money. So quite a bit of success here, and that kind of builds on itself.
It does. And boys track this year, the relay almost set the school record this year. So, had a big track turnout this year for that team.
Getting back to basketball just a little bit, and Chuck, what are your plans for the rest of the summer for the team?
Well, we're hoping to play a little bit next week. It's hard. Excuse me. Hard to. I come in so late to get games, and everybody's already scheduled to go somewhere. So we're hoping to try to get a few more games next week and then go into the dead period.
Maybe some home dates.
Yes, some home dates. Yes, that's key if we can get a Tuesday or Thursday of next week.
Now, when you get to the dead period, are you guys pretty much finished, or are you going to come back after that and still get some stuff?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to come back after the dead period a couple nights a week and get some shots up. J.C. Jaggers is always wanting to she'll be, we're having a shoot around this morning. The kids are tired, but we're going to come in this morning and have a shoot around. And she wanted to play all the JV yesterday. She could. She's one of those kids that just wants to play everything, So, but we put her in for a few minutes last night in the JV game just to get her up and down. She's in 2 minutes. She scored 8 points. So I said, I don't want to push my luck to get her out of there.
Well, go back to when the Caldwell job came open. How did you kind of become interested in the job here?
Well, I was assistant on the softball team at Paducah Tillman, and then helping with basketball as well. And when the job came open, I didn't think Melissa would ever leave. We're friends. And when it came open, we applied, and Ms. Phelps called me, said come up for an interview, and it was kind of we've been praying about it at home, my family and I, and things just kind of started happening for us. My wife's going to be working at the high school, and I'll be down at the middle school teaching, and everything just kind of fell together for us.
How did you get into coaching originally?
Well, I knew a long time ago when I was a sophomore in high school. We had a coach, we won 2 games that year, and he was the head coach, and he went on after that, of course, to they got rid of him, but he's a great guy, Ron Reed. He went to Ole Miss and helped Bob Weltlick. He probably a long time Ole Miss coach, and he always stayed in contact with me, and he helped me through college, and I just knew what I wanted to do. I knew that was my calling.
How many years do you have in now as a coach?
About 24, 25 as a coach, you know.
Where did you start coaching, and what's some of your background as a coach?
Okay, I coached at Cumberland High School, which is in the mountains of Harlan County.
Yeah.
I was assistant under John Bond, and it was actually boys there, so learned a lot from him. Then I went to Lawrence County. I was there. That's my alma mater in around Ashland, Kentucky. Coached at Union College for 3 years under Coach Tucker, and we really, right there was a really good experience for me coaching at Union. It was with Coach Tucker and Coach Evans. It was really, really a good experience, and showed me really what I'm going to do. And then I got a job offer at Harlan, where I was there for 9 years. And then I came back home. This is my wife's home, this area is. She's from Livingston area, and I'm from the other end of this completely 16th region, first region, 16th region, second region. So the kids are around their grandparents, and things have just we've been really blessed with the way things have kind of happened, We're hoping that this is, our final stop. The people are so awesome here. The coaches, everybody, except for the volleyball coach, everybody.
Well, he's a little demanding,
Yeah, but really, just so accommodating. It's really been good. Not one bad thing.
How did you kind of develop your coaching style or philosophy?
Well, it's like I say, it's over the years, it's changed. You got to change with the times. If you don't, I can remember when I wanted to get it in the half court and just run a good set and get a score, but now you got to, and it depends on what you got. You got to adapt your philosophy to the talent you've got. I love to get up and down defensively and get the ball up in there, get some shots up, shoot some threes. Now, whereas before, 10 years ago, it was all, I want to get the ball in, let's not turn it over, let's go down and set up something. But with these kids, my philosophy will work well with them because we're deep. We're really deep. Maja Hollowell, oh my goodness, she has had a tremendous summer, and she has come out of her shell from what I understand from the other coaches. So, I just like to push it, get it up and down, get some shots up, and we've got the players to do it.
Yeah, a lot of these girls played really well 2 years ago, and I can't really explain last year. Not that they played poorly, but they just didn't quite get to the level they were the year before. So it's good to see them kind of back on that path now.
Yeah, Coach Thacker at Round County, I sent him a picture. We had 17 girls at 8:30. They want to practice early. This is amazing because I'm a morning person myself. Yeah. And I just sent a picture of all those kids, and he said, "What in the world are you doing up there?" I said, "Listen, it's nothing I've done. They're in here ready to go. They know what the routine is, and it's just been a treat because, and that just goes back to the testament to Coach Thomas, having them ready, and they're learning my style now. They're really adapting. I can show them some stuff, and they can do it."
What are some of the things in particular that you've maybe changed or just taking a little different look at?
Well, for example, JC, getting her to shoot. She's a really good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
She can get to the rim. She can post you up. She can do it just about anything you want. He's getting her to shoot the open shot. Get all of them to shoot it. You're open, you got to shoot it. I don't want to miss shots better than a turnover any day. So we're getting them to shoot the basketball has been a little bit of a task, but they're doing that, and we've been working on that. And yesterday, they definitely got a hold of that.
What would be some of your goals for the upcoming season? Where do you want to get the team to?
Well, of course, we want to compete. I tell them every day before we walk out on the floor, compete. You compete, good things are happening. You don't want to go out on a limb and talk about district championships or getting the region. We're Class A now. Good things can happen there. We want to keep it within itself. We want to play good basketball and let things happen. But at the end of the day, you want to know what you can do. And, the Class A is something we're looking at real hard. The kids know it. They've talked to me about it. Even in our district, I asked them, what do you want to do? and they told me, how they want to approach it and who they really want to beat. And so we got short-term goals, and then we're going to look at the long-term goals.
Yeah. I thought not playing in the Class A tournament really hurt the program last year, and Caldwell's kind of on that border. You're either the largest Class A team or you're the smallest 2A team, and the team kind of got put into that smallest 2A team role last year.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of Class A state tournaments with Harlan, and it's really a good thing for the school and the kids. And we've got to listen. We're not just stopping there. We're thinking about other stuff too. The Class A is a big thing for us, but we want to. I tell the kids, I said, dream big. Dream big. You'll feel big sometimes, but you got to dream big.
And we're talking this morning with Caldwell County girls basketball coach Chuck Mitchell. Also, Caldwell County volleyball coach Daniel Cortner is here with us. And Daniel, I know the Class A thing was a big deal for you last year because you had set your schedule up one way, and then you find out to the last minute that, hey, there is no All-A Classic for you, and it kind of changed the way your whole season was put together.
We recommend every year that they either get it on a 5-year plan or try to figure out how to say, you're going to be penalized, and I call it penalized because I love Class A, to try to say, next year or something along those lines, because it still threw a wrench in our schedule this year when we waffled around and found out that we were back in. I look at it as a mid-season test. And in volleyball, when you're a public school and under 700 kids, you're looking at that's the closest thing you'll get to Class A, to a state championship. And winning it in 2010 really solidified that reasoning. So we get to go up and play some teams across the state that we don't normally see, and they're all up there with the same dream. It does energize the girls in the midseason. So, that's my thoughts on Class A is it's a compact weekend against – there are no slouches once you get up there.
Now, when you guys won the state, am I right, are you guys still the only – Caldwell's only public school to ever win a state volleyball championship on any level in Kentucky?
Correct.
That's what I thought. It's
and one of only about 3 to even be in the finals of something like that.
Oh, wow. So. Because even the All-A Classic, the private schools kind of dominate.
Right, and they've kind of changed back and forth. There's a big tournament in Louisville that weekend, so they kind of decide whether or not they want to qualify for Class A or go play in that one and see where they go. But it's got enough teams and enough people put enough honor in it that it is a state tournament. It's not recognized by KHSAA, but when you win it, you understand you won the state tournament.
Well, you mentioned that you guys were going to try to put together a team and go play at Webster County this weekend. Mm-hmm. What do you do? Where do your players play over the summer? Because I know you've got people on different teams going different directions.
Right. In the spring, they all played with our club over in Hopkinsville and Vapor. Probably 95% of them played. The ones that didn't came here with at Trilogy Sports and got a lot of one-on-one work with Emily Oliver. So, they came back in the gym, and I was able to see, who mixed and matched pretty well. So summer, they've kind of all been with me, and I'm getting to kind of reap the benefits of their hard work this past spring. We pretty well scattered out across, I think it was 6 different teams that I had players on last year, and 5 of them had winning records. So, they went and put a very good spring together.
That's pretty good. Now, after the dead period, what do you guys do coming back from that?
We pretty much get launched into space after the dead period. The first hour we're available, we're going to get on a bus and go to Western Kentucky, go to WKU team camp. And last year we opted not to go to a team camp. I liked where we were. Couldn't find one. We used to go to U of L. They almost doubled their price a couple years ago when they changed coaches, and then they changed the format. I like to go to a camp that's going to give you some skills and give you some ideas and things, and just like Coach says, you're not going to press with 6-footers, and I try to look at what my team and what we need. This year I've got a major returning core. I've got 3 juniors that have started since 8th grade freshman year. So I wanted to go this year and get them on the floor and let them play. And Western, you pretty much play the bulk of the time. So we're going to get them up there. I think the first night the girls are pretty excited. We're going to go watch a Hot Rods baseball game. I've got some of the biggest baseball fans in town in that gym up there. They love going to watch it. So they're kind of excited about that week, and we'll kind of bond up and meet the younger girls that are going to see some varsity jerseys and see how it goes.
I actually went to a Hot Rods game last summer, and it's great because most of the stadium's in the shade. You're covered, so you're good. And I remember seeing the big wall they've got over in right center field, and I'm thinking, nobody's going to clear that thing. Two guys hit it out, one the other way, and that's when you realize, even though it's minor league baseball, those guys are playing at a different level than than what you're used to seeing sometimes. I mean, it's just it's amazing the step you go from high school to college and then to pro baseball, just
different level.
How good everybody gets really quick. Are you guys going back to the Bluegrass State games this year? Is that still
We are. That's such a great opportunity. They took away the fact that counts as scrimmages. So now they're just free games.
Okay.
Of course, you got to pay entry fee and travel, but they don't count for a record. Last year we got up in the gold bracket, finished 8th in the whole tournament out of 110 teams, 100-something teams. So, we really enjoy that weekend. Again, you're playing teams you don't get to see, kind of get a jump start on the season. We don't have any time to rest because the first night, the 19th of August, that first night is when we host Livingston for the first round of Class A.
Oh, really?
And since I've taken over, we've never played a Monday night game. We've never played that early in the season. So the very first time we step on the floor has potential for changing our whole season.
Oh, yeah.
When Livingston comes to town, turn around, play Christian the next night, and then that weekend we go up for our match with the private schools in Louisville. So we've got to hit the ground running for no other reason.
Well, what type of scrimmages do you have set? Do you know yet who you're going to play?
We'll go. We don't really have any set names. We'll probably go into McCracken County again this year to that Sportsplex, and it's kind of volleyball. You get 3 hours, play as much as you can during that 3 hours. So you kind of try to pick and choose who's going to be where to follow good teams. So that'll probably be our biggest scrimmage this fall.
All right. We're talking with Caldwell County volleyball coach Daniel Cortner, and Caldwell County girls basketball coach Chuck Mitchell is with us on the show today. We need to get to another break, but we'll be back with more on the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Good morning. Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for mostly sunny today, high near 72. Tonight, clear with a low around 51. Tomorrow, sunshine once again with a high near 77. On Saturday, a slight chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny in the afternoon, heating up with a high near 85. Showers and thunderstorms likely for Father's Day all the way through Tuesday, with temps steady in the mid-80s. Again, your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for mostly sunny today with a high of 72.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Raider Auction Company.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy is a family-friendly environment that offers a wide range of classes to reach your fitness and well-being goals. Whether you're into yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, or weightlifting, Trilogy has something for the whole family. Family discounts available, and your first 2 weeks are free. Located in Princeton behind Cash Express. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports.
Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest and against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
We continue on the Sideline Report on a Thursday morning at 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Talking with new Caldwell County girls basketball coach Chuck Mitchell and Caldwell County volleyball coach Daniel Cortner. Both of those guys trying to get their teams ready for their respective seasons, which are coming up. And Daniel, for you, that's a little sooner because like you mentioned, once the dead period's over, boom, it's go time.
It is, and we've had some pretty good open gyms. We kind of look and see how many we got. I don't require them to come. We've had anywhere from 4 to all 14. Oh. So the nights that all 14 are there, I pretty much put the drills back in my pocket and we mix it up and play. Let them enjoy it a little bit. So every night when we've had 6-on-6 and we've been able to play, I feel a lot more comfortable. I was very nervous replacing Shaden Allen and Caitlin Conway, replacing those two with the amount of offense Shaden brought on the outside. Was really nervous about how far down the depth chart am I going to go? So, we're looking at a Mary Tays or a Lily Horde stepping up and filling that void. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to take her, what Shaden and Caitlin brought to us and really spread that out. Olivia Mitchell's already at around 824 career kills. There's only one in Caldwell history that went over 1,000.
I probably know. I probably know who that is. It's got to be Jessie Stone.
Jessie Stone. So we, she had 418 last year. Yeah. So if you give her the ball 50% more, I think 1,000 will be an easy benchmark for her. And everybody already knows we're going to funnel through her, and she knows it. So we worked a lot this spring. I had the pleasure of coaching with Brett Carview from Graves County's head coach, and he came and was my assistant for club this year. And he taught me a lot about how to teach them when to tip, when to mix up speeds and hit shots and things along those lines. And it really fortified her game offensively and gave her a better than just a knockout punch. Saw some amazing growth in Abby Griggs this spring. She was able to take over. Second region might not like it too much because we really worked on a power throw. It's more of a not really tipping. You're pretty much slinging a ball down, and if done properly, it's legal. But it hadn't caught on in this end of the state yet. But she near perfected it most of this spring. Going to be built around a couple of seniors. Got Addie Perkins and Savannah Tays. I walk into practice and I might walk up to one of them and tell them what the next 2 or 3 drills are, and then I go over to the side and I'm basically the assistant coach to my captains. And those two have been around me for now. This is about their 5th or 6th year they've been around me, so they know my lingo, they know my words, they know what's expected, and they're already running spring practice or summer practices for us.
So I guess the big question then is, how good are you guys going to be this fall?
It's going to have to see how well Henderson can recover after losing Region Player of the Year, Hannah Watkins. I think they've got enough. Springer's still going to be their solid middle, so they do lose their libero. They've got 2 good setters. So every year you look at ours, it's going to be us versus Henderson in my mind. We'll not overlook UHA. They've still got Lily Hendricks, and then the Adams, after her, now be her 2nd year coming in with them. That's going to be our biggest contest when we go to Class A, so in the region. So getting past UHA is going to be step 1, and then we'll gear. Kind of hard to tell about our region. We've got 3 first-year head coaches coming in out of the 13 teams. So Madisonville's got a new one, a former player over there that's going to step up and coach. So I'm going to have to see kind of how they all mesh in.
But you've got a lot of experience, and Olivia Mitchell has to be one of the front runners for that 2nd region player of the year going in, I would think.
Even though she's a junior, I'm putting her, probably right up there with them, if not some past. Her ability to take over a ball game is unreal. We would go into some of these venues this spring that had 10, 15 courts, and by the end of the day, people would notice, hey, 15's your stud. Mm-hmm. So it got to be you want to balance around her, so the workload isn't totally on her, because you can wear them down pretty quick, and 3rd set you're pretty tired. The thing we've learned this spring is how to run a back row attack. Caldwell, we hadn't ran one since Jessie was around. We haven't needed to, but to try to get that, if I'm going to run a 4-2 with my setter front row, I need that 3rd hitter to go against your blockers and defense, and they need to respect who I've got back row. So we've really expanded on our offense across the court.
Well, and we talk about the tradition and the success the volleyball program has had, and if I'm not mistaken, every year you guys have been in the All-A Classic, you've won the region. You've never lost a match.
Correct.
In the regional All-A Classic, so that's big. And just talk about the run of players you've had going back to when Sue Stone got everything started, and that region player of the year is not something that just kind of happens. I mean, Caldwell County's had a string of those players.
Yeah, and we're over half. And the ones that have been phenomenal athletes. The one that's beat out a Caldwell kid have had phenomenal athletes. Looking, we still got Katie Van Hoosier at Bethel playing, who a couple years ago was an all-conference freshman setter. I think probably this year, the way her roster looks, she's going to be the only setter. She's been running a 6-2. She looks like she probably moved to a 5-1 this year. And she's looks healthy, feels healthy, for the first time since she was a sophomore in high school. So I got Taylor Whalen up at Midway. That program has come a long way with their new head coach, and she saw a lot of time on defense last year. And then Shaden Allen's going to go to Wren Lake this spring and kind of take our banner up there. It's a new place for us. But you look at the testament of where we started. They had immediate success. And I think that fueled the youth of wanting to say, I want to go play that. I want to be a part of that. And just year after year, there's been great quality character. We've got governor scholars all up and down the history of where we are. I think when we find out 16 that have gone to play college ball. Last year, our GPA was over 3.7. It was about a 3.72. And I jokingly told them you could add my high school and 2 college GPAs together, and I wouldn't be a 3.7. So, they're great kids. They're great characters, and they're built around honesty and integrity. I try to tell them that class is what keeps us there. And people respect us. So we don't have to look too far to go back to the regional tournament when Riley Thomas calls a ball on herself. So
yeah, that was big. I mean, I don't know if people realized it, but we actually had the call go our way, and she was like, "No, I touched it," and it went the other way, and. Right. Pretty big point in the game.
There are still a lot of honor calls in the game. I know 3 or 4 times this spring. Of course, clubs, you've only got one paid official, and then you've got an off team is not playing, doing the books and the line judging and things along those lines. And I lost count this year how many times a kid would look up at the official and say, on a block, I touched that. And my girls would get so frustrated when you knew the opponent touched it and they wouldn't call it on themselves.
Right.
And I think if you can build around that class and build around that character, you're not asking for too much out of a young lady. They're built like that. They know. But it also brings a work ethic with them. I have to work to be honorable. I have to work to do that. So then when I'm in practice, the rest of it just kind of flows. I'm not out there, trying to get them to behave.
One thing maybe everybody doesn't know is that you're the president of the Kentucky Volleyball Coaches Association, and how did that come about, and what are some of the responsibilities of that?
It came about because anytime I go somewhere, I talk to everybody I see.
Well, that's good, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. When the spot came open, when Coach Mitzi Dunoff got ready to resign, she pretty well called and said, I want you to put your name in the hat. So it went through the board. There is a state board, and went through and got nominated through her and selected as that. It's been an honor, especially when I was only head coach for, I guess, my second season at that. Of course, been an assistant under Coach Stone forever. And through that, it really opened up a lot of doors. We've got our coaches clinic at the end of the season, or at the end of the summer, right after tryouts. We'll go up and have there's 4 presenting college coaches going to come in and present drills. You get to meet them, network with them, so that helps in every way. They contact you from time to time and say, hey, I don't come to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd region very often. Who do you have down there? So that's been very crucial. The secretary of the KVCA is Brad Wilson, and he's the brains and the push behind it. Almost single-handedly started boys volleyball in Kentucky last year. I think there were about 6 or 7 schools that participated at different times and got that going, and KHSAA is looking at adding that in the sport if the growth continues. So that's something that's going to be big across the sport, and across the state. So when you get into the Coaches Association, my main thing is trying to keep tenure of coaches. They say the average for a coach is about 3 years, and that's just hard to sustain growth and sustain the sport. So we're really trying to figure out how to prolong coaches and keep them there. Safety is always a big thing. When you look at a lot of teams, they only got 1 or 2 ball players, so you try to take care of their shoulders and make sure they're healthy when they leave. So really just try to keep the game growing at the speed that it is right now. It's the #1 high school girls sport. So.
Well, and you mentioned boys volleyball, and I was going to ask you about that. Is that something that we'll eventually see kind of seep down to this end of the state?
I've envisioned around here, right now it's the big schools up in Lexington and the private boys schools that have it. I see it being about like girls. The Louisville and lower Cincinnati area had it almost 30 years before we did. So I see it taking a while. If numbers continue to drop in football the way they are, I think that would be something a group of kids you could go get, but it would be a springtime sport. So you're still going to be competing with track, tennis, and baseball. So, it's going to hurt a small school to try to start a program, but I think it will happen in here at some point.
Yeah, the sports schedule is a lot busier than it used to be back in the day. When I started covering sports, there was basically football, basketball, and baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's 20 sports that you have to try to fit in someplace.
Right, and a lot more room.
Yeah. I'm talking this morning with Daniel Cortner, the Caldwell County volleyball coach, and Chuck Mitchell, Caldwell County girls basketball coach, here on the Sideline Report. I want to tell you about Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton. It's a 2015 Honda Civic, black in color. See Dave for details at U-Ride in Princeton. That's U-Ride 310 Marion Road, Princeton. Telephone 270-365-3215. Again, be sure to ask for Dave's Deal of the Week. Need to get to a timeout here on the Sideline Report, but we'll be back with more right after this on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Good morning. Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for mostly sunny today, high near 72. Tonight clear with a low around 51. Tomorrow sunshine once again with a high near 77. On Saturday, a slight chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny in the afternoon, heating up with a high near 85. Showers and thunderstorms likely for Father's Day all the way through Tuesday with temps steady in the mid-80s. Again, your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast calling for mostly sunny today with a high of 72.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Jeff Russo, attorney at law.
The WKDZ Barn Bash is coming to the Western Kentucky State Fair in Hopkinsville. Friday night at 7 on June 28th at the Convention Center. Make a donation to Pennyroyal Hospice and pick up a free WKDZ Barn Bash shirt.
I've been here 9 years, and when I first got here, our charity care was probably somewhere in the vicinity of about $15,000 a year. That's now up to $60,000 to $70,000 a year. And I think the health insurance mess has a whole lot to do with that. So a lot of folks are falling through the cracks. You've got this group of people who need help, and we turn away no one.
Pennyroyal Hospice serves clients in our 5-county area. Bring the whole family out for a night of free country music at the Western Kentucky State Fair Convention Center. Admission to the WKDZ Barn Bash is free with your paid fair admission. Rising country stars Quiva and Blaine Howard will perform a benefit show for Pennyroyal Hospice.
And we continue on the Sideline Report on a Thursday morning at WPKY. Glad to have Chuck Mitchell, Caldwell County girls basketball coach, with us this morning. Glad to have Daniel Cortner back on the show. He's the Lady Tiger volleyball coach. And guys, I've gone most of the show without really mentioning the St. Louis Blues very much, but I'm still excited. I'm still pumped up over last night. Do you guys watch hockey very much?
Not really. I have been to a Blues game, though.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
I've never been to a hockey game in my life. St. Louis, my wife is from the Paducah area, Livingston area, so she's a St. Louis fan. I'm actually a Reds fan because I'm from the Cincinnati area, and so we have some battles when we go to Cincinnati. She'll wear her shirt and I'll wear mine. So, but no, I'm not watching much hockey in my life.
Well, a lot of baseball fans in this area seem to fall into the category you're either a St. Louis Cardinals fan, you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, you're either a Chicago Cubs fan or Atlanta Braves. Was talking to one of the players from the Paducah Ohio Valley League baseball team over at the Hoptown Hoppers game a couple of weeks ago, and this kid was from Houston. And, of course, I had on my St. Louis Cardinals cap, and he's like, so I'm guessing everybody around here is a Cardinals fan, right? And I'm like, no, it's there's a lot of Cardinals fans, but there's a lot of Reds fans. There's a lot of Cubs fans. There's a lot of Braves fans. And then Daniel, who watches Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
See, that was totally uncalled for. I'm trying to set you up and be nice. And
and right now our hottest player is a former Cardinal, so we'll still.
I know
we'll
it's killing me, but what can you do? The Cardinals are kind of struggling right now, but I mean it's a long season, so you don't know. But
we're kind of glad it's a long season. Maybe we get our injured reserves back.
But baseball's always fun, and it was just interesting to hear this kid's talking about where he's from, everybody's an Astros fan. I mean, there's not even that many Rangers fans down in that area. He's from Houston, and just everybody's an Astros fan, and kind of a different take.
It's nice to be able to have a spot around here. Kind of gets the banter going.
Yeah.
Well, it does, and I'm always surprised at how many Cubs fans there are. But I think the reason there's a lot of Cubs fans and a lot of Braves fans is because when we were growing up, they were always on TV.
America's team, yeah.
Right. You know, the Braves were on TBS, the Cubs were on WGN, and you could just see them every day. So I think that's just how they grew the fan base and kind of picked things up. So it's just interesting how the allegiances fall, but kind of broken up around here. And the Blues thing, I think there was probably about 3 of us in Caldwell County that are Blues fans. Just want everybody to know, though, I didn't jump on the bandwagon late. I mean, people can remember 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I had my Blues jacket on, my Blues cap, my Blues shirt. So I actually long-suffering Blues fan, and just still can't believe it, to be honest with you. I mean, just can't believe it. I was sitting there watching last night, and I'm like, they're going to win this thing. Yeah. It's the Stanley Cup. And did you guys know that the Stanley Cup actually predates the NHL? The Stanley Cup's been around for 125 years, so it was actually a thing before the National Hockey League even came into existence. Wow. That's how long that thing's been around. But okay, so enough boring everybody with hockey stuff. But Chuck, what do you guys have coming up? You mentioned a little bit earlier, still to go this summer with the basketball.
Yeah, we're going to try to get Union County over next week if they can fit us in, and I'm talking to a few other places. Hopefully, everybody's got stuff to do, and I got in late, so we're just trying to get somebody in to play us at home. We've been on the road the last few days, so it'll help the kids as well.
Looking ahead to the approaching season, what do you know about the 7th District and the 2nd Region?
You know, I'm coming in kind of blind to it. Just know a little bit about it, what the girls are telling me. And I just tell them, I said, if you play your game, you play as well as I know you can play. You're going to compete. So, they've got their goals, what they want to do. And, you're talking about Hopkins and Central and Madison. And, I said, let's just get better. All we want to do is work on getting better and let the chips fall where they may.
I think Madisonville is going to be pretty good. They may even be in the regional mix a little bit. But the Lady Tigers played them pretty well last year.
Well, I can tell you this now. I've seen a lot of basketball in the 1st region, and, of course, coming from the 16th, these girls, they better not be overlooked. Because if they're going to play hard, we're going to be right there. And, I told them, I said, we just play our game. If they do that, teams better be aware because, if we go in there and compete, we got the players that can score. We got the players inside. We got shooters. We got kids that can get to the rim, and we're deep. We played 11 kids on the varsity,
You do have one of my favorite ball players to watch, and one of the best blue collar in Bella McConnell, who can get in there and mix it. She plays 7 foot tall sometimes. Gets in there and roughs it up. And then soft touch from 3 point.
They beat us last year double overtime, I think. And I went into halftime. She had 16 points at halftime, I think. And I don't know how the ball was going in. I have no idea how she get in. I got on our kids and said, hey, block her out. I think she ended up at 25 or 26, and they beat us in double overtime. But you're right. She goes to work, puts her hard hat on, and she goes to work. And right now, she knows conditioning is the biggest thing for her. She's going to get in shape, and she has really helped carry us.
Well, that's what I've said in the past. Nobody tell these girls are not 7 feet tall. Because that I don't think they realize it sometimes, and that's a good thing.
She comes out of a crowd, and the ball goes in the basket. Yeah. I just don't know,
Some people just have a knack.
Right.
I've seen some of those players, they're not very big. They don't have great leaping abilities, but somehow they manage to position themselves to get the ball and get shots off. And
Carson Parker is kind of the same way. She's comic relief for sure, but she's a rebounder, finish, and she just keeps everybody loose, and she's a jokester for sure.
Well, I saw her coming when we were doing our interview the other day, and I knew she was jumping in the background.
Yeah, she's
but that's okay.
She's a good leader too. She's really funny, and the kids. She keeps all the kids loose for sure.
Looking ahead to your upcoming season, do you have your schedule kind of set, and was it already set for you? Did you kind of get to put your own?
It was kind of set. I'd get another team to come into the Christmas tournament. Louisville Central's going to be coming.
Okay.
So I don't know anything about them, and Mayfield's going to be there for us. And I'm trying to get one more team to come right now. So hopefully that'll be full, and then everything else is pretty much set.
Do you have any other holiday tournaments you're going to be playing in?
I don't think there's anything else on there.
And the All-A Classic, you mentioned that's going to be big?
That's going to be huge for us. I mean, because the kids, they know what it's about. And, and Bella was telling me yesterday, she said, we wasn't in there last year, and I felt like we could have done some damage. I think we open up against UHA. I said, and that, that's probably where you're going to have to battle right there. We've already seen 2 or 3 of the other Class A schools, so that's going to be huge for us.
Speaking of basketball, Caldwell County's guys are playing at home today. Action beginning at 9 o'clock this morning out at the Cab with the Tigers and Trigg County starting things off. Crittenden County is also going to be there, so there's varsity games, JV games throughout the morning and early afternoon time. So, summer's a busy time.
It sure is. It's, times have changed. Kids got to make a commitment, and they're always doing something, But I think that's good for them to always be. And like Coach said, we got kids working as well. So I think that's why they wanted to come in so early of a morning and practice. And I was, they're on the court at 8 o'clock, ready to go.
Talking again with Chuck Mitchell, Caldwell County girls basketball coach, and Daniel Cortner, Caldwell County volleyball coach. And Daniel, I guess the biggest thing, though, approaching for fall for you is what kind of ideas do you have about taking team pictures this year?
That has kind of been a good one. I promise you I've asked about 3 or 4 times. So with 2 seniors, we're trying to figure out how to come up with a good idea. So that's always a fun week.
I'm telling you, I think the picture on the horses would work.
We can do that.
It's always interesting to try to come up with something, and volleyball's always been great about that. Whatever kind of crazy ideas we come up with, we'll go take the pictures. Did pictures one year on the train tracks, and did pictures at the movie theater.
Fire station last year.
Yeah, one year we set volleyballs on fire. That was fun.
Had a little Photoshop in that too.
Yeah, don't be giving away all my tricks, but it actually was on fire though. We did set volleyballs on fire, and thankfully we didn't burn down half of downtown when we did that. But it's always interesting. I like taking the different pictures. I like the different looks.
It kind of lets their character out, and they're a great bunch, a loose bunch. So it kind of surprises me sometimes when I walk in on picture day and they've got their hair done and makeup on and things along. I kind of try to figure out whose team that is in there. So it really lets their personality show.
Well, and I like the fact that it's always, it's not you deciding or me deciding. It's kind of everybody gets to decide, how we want to do it, what we want to do, and it always ends up looking really good.
One year they went every day after practice for about an hour and a half and painted hay bales.
Yeah. we did take pictures in a barn one time and in a bean field, and trying to remember all the pictures that we've taken
every year
in a plane. We had a plane one year. So.
Every year they ask for a sunflower field. So if anybody has a big field full of sunflowers, let us know.
Oh, wow. So see, Chuck, you got to do some thinking now for basketball.
Yeah, where's that? We got to come up with a theme for sure.
Daniel, looking ahead to this fall, is your schedule pretty much set?
It is, and luckily, the good news about ours is after about 4 years, I finally got it the way that I wanted. Had a pretty good idea a couple years ago. Just took a while to do it. Every Thursday this year, I think except for one, every Thursday we're going to have a home game. Okay. So Tuesdays are away, Thursdays are home. And I like that because we travel so much during the weekends. So let's have a home game on Thursday. They don't have to worry about getting back from Apollo, an hour and a half bus ride somewhere like that, coming back in and then roll over to go to Louisville, Friday afternoon. So our Thursday nights are home. So, folks can pretty well look and say, hey, it's Thursday night, let's go watch a volleyball game. They don't have to worry about looking at a schedule. Just, it's Thursday night, let's go. So, I was lucky that a lot of people let me move them and go. So corresponding next year, those 2 nights will flip-flop a little bit, I think, but we'll see. The schedule is built like I want it. There's about 3 times where I can give them a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And coming from a club coach, I bought into the club mentality where you only play about every other weekend, over the course of the same time, and you still get in 40 matches. I like to give my kids some time off, let them rest, let them go home, do their homework, spend some time with their families. So in order to build your own schedule is really a luxury.
Well, and one thing I wish we could see is more people at volleyball games, because I always say that you guys don't have the biggest crowds, but you guys have the most boisterous crowds. If you weren't fighting all the other sports, which are going on in the fall for people, I mean, what would the cab sound like for a volleyball game if it was full?
Oh, you go up to the state tournament at the end of October, 1st of November, and you look, and some schools are bringing 4 or 5 pep buses in, and it just, the hair stand up. There's so much adrenaline, so much power. These are not your typical high school girls. These are some very athletic girls that I don't want them hitting at me. I quit playing with them about 5 years ago. I was starting to get beat up pretty good, and it's so fast. People complain about baseballs. It takes 3.5 hours. Well, ours, you can play, start a game at 5:30, go freshman, JV, and varsity, and have supper in town before everybody closes. So it's a great opportunity to come in and get some energy off. We've had a good student section the last couple of years. We've sent the freshmen over to teach them cheers and when to cheer, when not to cheer. So, and a lot of it is it's a good class crowd. Volleyball, you don't get a lot of arguing. Officials, have a lot easier go at it. We've got some great officials in the second region, and you don't have a lot of that. I don't really want to sit by them because all they do is yell at a ref. It's a great crowd and a great atmosphere.
Yeah, there's lots of action, and I think some people may be missing the boat by not showing up for a few games, and I've always tried to encourage people that if you can get out there and take in a game, I think you'll be hooked.
It doesn't take long. I think it took me about 2 or 3, and that was in 06, 07, somewhere in there. So, but it is a great atmosphere, a great game to come watch. It's the speed.
Yeah. I really appreciate you guys coming in and being on the show today and taking time with us and spending an hour with us. And anything you guys want to add before we get out of here?
Tryouts July 15th and 16th for incoming 7th graders, 7th, 8th on up. So July 15th and 16th. Must have a physical for both of us. If you want to try out and come to a sport, you've got to have an approved physical due to KHSAA. You got to pass it. So take care of that, and you can always get a hold of us any kind of way to get ready for tryouts July 15th and 16th. We are running a couple open gyms before that, so I'll get that information out when we lock down some times. But that's kind of our recruiting tool is the open gyms, get in, meet the girls, and then they pretty well keep them.
Yeah. Chuck, anything?
It's going to be an exciting year for girls basketball at Caldwell County. People just get on the bandwagon, come out and see us. You're going to see an exciting brand of basketball for sure. Kids are excited. I want the school to be excited about it, and if you come out, I'm like Coach here, you're going to be really hooked on what we're going to put on the court. We're going to put a really fun product on the court.
All right, good deal. Again, welcome to Caldwell County. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
That's Chuck Mitchell, the new Caldwell County girls basketball coach, and also in the studio with us this morning, Daniel Cortner, making, what is it, Daniel, your 5th, 6th appearance here on the show?
Probably 5th. Yeah. I've still got vacation time, so we can come back.
Oh, yeah, we'll have you back. Thanks again to you guys for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Again, Chuck Mitchell and Daniel Cortner on the show with us this morning. That's going to wrap up the Sideline Report, and thank you for listening. Congratulations to the Blues, Stanley Cup champions, and we'll be back again next week on the Sideline Report here on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950, we're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says he'd accept information on a campaign opponent from a foreign government.
I think you might want to listen.